streamers, today we're going to show you a great video, especially if you do have a streaming device at home. It's regarding your Wi-Fi speed. We have received a lot of emails about people asking us when they either install a DNS or a VPN on their Wi-Fi router that their speeds do get slow, and sometimes it's not really a matter of the DNS or the VPN, but actually something even more complicated that has to do with how you are actually have your Wi-Fi set up at home. If you take a look at, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that talk gibberish about how to increase your Wi-Fi speed for free, and most of it is just fake. You'll see people actually telling you to use copper wires and aluminum foil. None of it does work. It's just fake. So just to make things clear, because a lot of people that enjoy streaming actually get pretty upset since they cannot watch their streams on HD quality, the first thing that you need to do before you even try looking on YouTube of all this nonsense with batteries and stuff is you need to do a speed test. And when you do a speed test, the first speed test you will do it with your computer connected directly to your router with a LAN connection, and it will tell you what's wrong. We have 10 megs right now. It has been raining, so I know that there are some issues with the fiber optic cable that comes to the house. So yes, I'm aware of it. That's something normal on this season because we live here in the tropics, so it rains a lot. And usually, if the connections on the Wi-Fi on the fiber optic cable are not really that good, you will get interference and a lot of noise. So as you can see, the upload speed sometimes falls, and it has to do more with the climate. So I know it's something external to my house, but if it was internal, then I first need to check out and see if it's something that is responsibility from the operator or from myself. We know that the speed test is not working, so I'll try again now that it has stopped raining, and I'll do it with my Wi-Fi router to see if it's the same speed that I got when connected to the LAN. We should see something very similar. Let's go and check it out. We have 10 megs officially, but as you can see, it's still fluctuating. So yes, it's an external factor. It doesn't have to do with my Wi-Fi routers, and it's actually showing the same behavior as when I did with the LAN, which means that it's okay on my setup. It's working fine. It's an external issue. So that's the first thing that you have to do to make sure that it's not something on your house, but it's something outside. If you get high speed or the speed that you hired on your LAN connection, it means okay, so you have to try now and do a speed test but with your Wi-Fi router. And if you see a difference, then it's something that has to do with your configuration. Now, if we're going to that part, you have to be aware that there's a lot of stuff involved on Wi-Fi routers. The first thing is that usually Wi-Fi routers do share channels or communication links. So you have to be very clear that if you live in an apartment complex or in a house or in a street where all of your neighbors and pretty much everyone today owns a Wi-Fi router, they might cause interference with your Wi-Fi. So you have to be sure what's going on. And the first thing is that you have to analyze your Wi-Fi router and your neighborhood or your Wi-Fi signals. So the first thing you will do is download an app called WiFi Analyzer, which is pretty good. And when you download it, you run it, and it will do a quick inspection of what's going on. As you can see, this is our Wi-Fi, and I have an extender, but that's another issue we'll talk about later. My Wi-Fi is house Wi-Fi, and it's on channel 8. And I have it here because, as you can see, it is showing me that there's a lot of Wi-Fi's located around my house. So if I chose one of those channels that are actually saturated, my speed will even be lower, and it has to do because there's a lot of traffic on the same channels. So with the Wi-Fi analyzer, you can actually pretty much check out your signal strength on your Wi-Fi and which are the channels that are the most populated, so you avoid them. And as you can see, channel 8, it's pretty much not used. I'm using channel 8, but channel 6, channel 1, channel 11, those are the channels that people use the most. And you see 1, 6, 11, they're saturated, so you have to change channels, and that's the first issue that you have to deal with. If you are in one of those channels, change it, and your Wi-Fi speed should improve. Once you do that, you have to be aware that your Wi-Fi coverage also depends your speed. It determines your speed, I'm sorry. So if you have a regular Wi-Fi router, like let's say omnidirectional Wi-Fi router, like this type of links where you don't see an external antenna, they're designed to be omnidirectional, which means that they have an antenna that covers the most space, but it doesn't has that much of an intensity. So the further away you go from the router, the lower your speed, and that's something very important. So a lot of people do go for more expensive routers, like for instance, these routers they have not omnidirectional, but single pole antennas, but they have a lot of them. So what they do is that they have directed antennas which provide the most power and signal quality, but they have a lot of them to cover the area. So this is why they're expensive, because instead of having one signal omnidirectional antenna, they have like 8 or 9 antennas that are directed, but they're very intense, and that's what you pay for, a lot of money. They're not cheap. For instance, this Linksys has 490-degree aperture angle antennas to cover the 360 degrees. These are great routers if you do have a lot of connected devices and streaming devices. But if you have your regular Wi-Fi router with an omnidirectional antenna like this one, what you will need is a Wi-Fi extender. And the further away you are from the router, the lower the speed. So when you get a Wi-Fi extender, let me show you real quick. You need to understand how it works. Your router is going to be at a certain point. Make sure that you never have your Wi-Fi router nearby your smartphone nor your wireless phone, because they cause interference. It's good to have your Wi-Fi router in a separate area just for it, so that there are no blocking from metal things like Coke cans or maybe other stuff that do cause interference, keychains, etc., etc. Also TVs, if you have it too close to your TV, it will cause interference. So what you do is pretty much, as you can see, the blue area is the router coverage, and if you want to cover other parts of your house, you have to include in your Wi-Fi setup an extender. Now, the extender has to be close enough to the router to get a good quality signal, so that it can retransmit the signal or extend it at the same speed. If it's too far away, your speed will decrease, and what you will be extending is a lower speed internet. So that's something very important. Uh, a lot of people that have extenders, I personally recommend the TP-Link brand because they're pretty good, and they have an advanced settings which is called a power schedule. And I use it because it's not good to have a lot of Wi-Fi on signal devices on you, because they do emit radiation. It's been proven that in certain countries, for instance in Norway, if you do have a Wi-Fi router too close to you, you can get cancer. So what I do personally is that since I have the Wi-Fi, the main Wi-Fi router on the living room, it's okay, it runs all the time. But the one that is the extender, which is closest to our living room, I had it set up with a power schedule, and what it does is like every night it will turn off. So I don't have that constant radiation while I sleep or while I'm in my bedroom. So that's a good thing. Just to have it in mind. If you have kids, you don't want them to be exposed to too much Wi-Fi radiation. So that's just an advice personally. I think it's something good to take into account. So pretty much, as you can see, it's just a matter of a checklist. Check first your local connection. If it's something that it's not related to your home and it has to do with your network outside your home, like maybe issues with the fiber optic or your cable company, if that's okay, then you try with your Wi-Fi router. Sometimes it's just a matter of changing the channel, as we showed you guys. It's not really complicated. As you can see, it's very simple. Just make sure you're on the right channel. Try to use one that is not saturated. You can download this app for free. It's called Wi-Fi Analyzer, and you can get it on your smartphone or your PC as well. And once you check out and you change the channels, your Wi-Fi speed should improve. If you still getting a low speed, maybe it's because you're too far away from your Wi-Fi router, and you will need either a better router, like the ones we show you, which are not this omnidirectional, but those that have polarized directed antennas, so you get a more strong signal, which is clear and it's better. They're more expensive though, so you have to be aware of that. Or you can just keep your common house router and buy an extender, and pretty much one with power schedule will be the best. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions, you can write us to our YouTube channel, We are on the BR Import Panama. You can also Twitter us on twitter.com/BL Import Panama, and also follow us on facebook.com/BL Import Panama. Thanks for watching and have a great day.